Hello, it's Mr. Van Ong here with week 2, day 4. It's already day 4. Time is flying with this distance learning plan. And today we're going to be working on estimating and measuring and converting capacity. Capacity is a strange word. Capacity is how much fluid fits in something. It's not volume. If you hear somebody say that we're doing volume today, we're not. Volume is the total amount of space inside an object. And that's different depending on the shape of the object than how much fluid it holds. So capacity is how much fluid containers can hold. We're doing it in the customary system, and if possible, you're going to be getting, with parent permission, getting some cooking things out today and messing around with different capacities and seeing how things fit together. I'm not going to walk you through that. You're just going to explore that because I hope you just want to, because it's kind of fun. So anyway, we're going to be talking about a short story to help us understand all this. And then we're going to be talking about kind of how much these different measurements are in real life. And we're going to do some example problems. So tune in for a story. You need to memorize this story. You're going to be able to do it. You probably have heard it before even. I would get out a sheet of paper. If you need to pause it to get out a sheet of paper, then do that now. Or turn to a blank sheet in the back of your book or something. You need probably close to a full-size piece of paper, maybe half a sheet, to record what I write on the board for this story. You'll want to have this memorized for any test about capacity. It's really easy to memorize. And it has inside of it all of the conversions for capacity. So we're going to be doing it today, and we're going to be doing it tomorrow as well. So it's a story. It's a fantasy story about a land called Gallon. And in the land of Gallon, represented with a G, in the land of Gallon, there lived 4 queens. See how those 4 queens fit perfectly inside the land of Gallon. And every queen in the land of Gallon had 2 princesses. And they were wonderful to behold, these valiant and brave and strong princesses that belonged to the 4 queens. So in the land of Gallon, there are 4 queens, and every queen has 2 princesses. And every princess has 2 little kitties, 2 cats. There's 2 cats. And that every princess has. And you know what those cats like to do? Those cats, they like to eat, they ate mice. The name of the mice they eat are flaws in the land of Gallon. They eat flaws. So the cats ate flaws. That's what they did. Again, in the land of Gallon, there are 4 queens, and every queen has 2 princesses. Every princess has 2 cats, and those cats ate flaws. The cats ate flaws. That's every conversion in the customary system. Trying to memorize it without the story is ridiculous. You never need to memorize how many pints are in a gallon because of this story. The gallon is the big G. The pints are the princesses, the P's. How many pints are literally in the gallon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 pints in a gallon. How many cups are in a quart? Well, the quarts are the queens. How many cups, how many cats does every queen have? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 cups in a quart. Can you imagine trying to memorize all that without the story? It'd be ridiculous. If you can produce this story, then every conversion you need in customary capacity is visually right there for you. Okay, so this is our key concept. The cups ate the flaws. The cats ate the flaws because there are 8 fluid ounces in a cup. Remember, I warned you there'd be fluid ounces and it wouldn't be 16. So it's 8 fluid ounces in a cup. So how big are these things in real life? Well, a gallon, I think most of us are probably familiar with a gallon jug of milk. So think about a gallon jug of milk. Now that container, by the way, can be misleading for the actual space that a gallon takes up because it's shaped like this and it's got a handle with empty space on it. And so if you were to think about, if you have an empty gallon jug in the next time that you finish a gallon of milk at home, if that's something that you have, if possible, I want you to fill it with water and then like pour it in a bucket. And you'll be blown away at how little water it is when you pour it in something like a big bucket or a big pail or something like that. It's way different than setting the container inside. So the container is shaped in a way that makes a gallon seem bigger, which is smart if you're trying to sell milk. If you've got a container that makes your gallon look bigger than the competitor's gallon, then that's a good thing. People are like, that looks like more milk, I'm gonna buy it, even though they're both a gallon. Because that's how people work. So that's a gallon. The next size down is a quart. A quart is, there's 4 quarts in a gallon. A quart is, they also sell like quarts of chocolate milk and quarts of milk. They're the tall, skinny ones. I'd have one, but I don't. I'd show you one. So you've got the gallons, and then you've got the little skinny ones. Or if you've ever gotten like the tall things of heavy cream, which is what I put in my coffee every morning, the tall things of cream, those are also in quarts, okay? A pint you're very familiar with. They come in pints from Lord of the Rings is probably not why you're familiar with it. That's why I'm familiar with it, because of Lord of the Rings. You're familiar with pints because that's how much milk comes in those little cartons at lunch. So you get a pint of milk whenever you get hot lunch. Okay, so there are 2 pints in a quart, or there are a total of 8 pints in a gallon. Okay, so those pints are what you get from your lunch meals. A pint of milk. Cups. Now, if you've got some experience doing some baking with your parental units or your guardians or whoever, uncles, grandparents, if you bake things, if you cook things with them, there's usually measurements that have to do with cups. So if you can, please get out some measurement tools with parent permission and take a look at what a cup is. Okay, there's 2 cups in every pint. So if you think about the little milk container you get, that it's a pint, if you cut that in 2 with a samurai sword, then you've got a cup. So that's how much a cup of fluid is. And then each of those cups would have 8 fluid ounces. So fluid ounce is pretty small. It's a pretty small unit of measurement. So we're getting down to a small amount of fluid if we're talking about fluid ounces. That's how big those things are. That's how we convert them. Now now that we've done all that, let's do some of this here. So this wants you to measure some things in your house. And if you've got these containers at home, do it. Cool. Okay. I don't have those containers right now. Not everyone will at home, so I'm not going to walk you through that. But if you do have it, it's a good thing to do. And then on the back, kind of the same situation is going on here. So if you can follow along with this because you've got all the tools at home, go for it. That's great. Okay. We are going to be practicing on these pages here, the actual conversion. And if you want to make a prediction, especially when you get down to the comparison sections, make a prediction of which one's going to be bigger, just like we did 2 days ago with weight, do that and then actually make the conversion. Let's do the first one together so you can see how to use this. So problem number 4 says 3 pints equals blank cups. It says it like that. You can tell based on the font what accent you're supposed to read it in, by the way. So 3 pints is how many cups? Well, let's look at 3 pints. Pint, pint, pint. There's 3 of them. How many cups are in those 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. There's 6. But Mr. Van Dog, did you know that you could do 3 times 2 is 6? Yes, I did. Because every pint is worth 2 cups, then you can say every 1 pint is 2 cups. So I'm going to do that. That's 3 groups of 2. 3 times 2 is 6. I would just use the picture. The picture is really what I want you to understand anyway as a 5th grader is that understanding of actually how things fit together. So you've got 3 of your little milk containers. Each one of them has 2 cups of milk in it. So that's 2, 4, 6 cups of milk. Got it? Cool. Finish this page. And down here, I would make a prediction and then find the exact answer by making it so that like on problem 12, you can make it so that they're both pints, or you can make it so that they're both cups, and then you make the comparison. Solve the problems on the back as well. And just like always, if you finish early, you can just move on ahead, or if you have containers in your house to play with capacity, then please do that. And if you don't finish in 45 minutes, that's okay. Just get as far as you can, and then move on to the next thing. I'll see you tomorrow.